Good evening. You're watching the news on Croatian television. Croatia, Slovenia, and the EU have agreed on a plan to reduce traffic congestion at the Croatia-Slovenia border caused by tougher border checks along the EU's Schengen frontier. Prime Minister Andrej Plenković, his Slovenian counterpart Miro Cerar, and EU Commission President Jean-Claude Juncker hashed out the plan today in Brussels. They have agreed that Slovenian border police will switch to selective checks instead of systematic ones anytime there is a wait of more than 15 minutes at the border. The new procedure goes into effect tomorrow.
This arrangement should reduce congestion and increase the flow of traffic in an applicable way. It will provide us with the legal means to avoid long lines at the border during the tourist season. We've concluded that our goal is the same, to abide by the EU's directive to guarantee security along the border, while at the same time avoiding traffic congestion. Along those lines, the European Commission has provided us with additional instructions.
Despite the fact that the HDZ's governing coalition with junior partners Most collapsed on Friday, Prime Minister Andrej Plenković is confident he will be able to reshuffle his cabinet and patch together a new parliamentary majority.
The government will be somewhat reconfigured with a secured parliamentary majority. With regard to these attempts at a no-confidence vote for the ministers, they won't pass.
Most quit the government on Friday in a dispute with the Prime Minister over Finance Minister Zdravko Marić. The party joined the opposition in demanding Marić step down over the crisis at Croatian food and retail group Agrokor, which Most alleges was allowed to operate above the law. Now, Most is pushing for snap elections.
Plenković will have to prove that he has a majority in the Croatian parliament, or he will be responsible for destabilizing the country and triggering a snap election.
The largest opposition party, the Social Democrats, are stepping up the pressure on the Prime Minister. They are now demanding not only the removal of the Finance Minister, but also the ouster of Economy Minister Martina Dalić over the Agrokor crisis.
This is a government rife with conflict and questionable interests. This is a government rife with conflicts of interest.
The People's Party says it will also support the ouster of Economy Minister Martina Dalić.
We will vote in favor of dismissing the HDZ's ministers Martina Dalić and Zlatko Marić, and in favor of the no-confidence motion in Most parliamentary speaker Božo Petrov, because we hold them equally responsible for the political, financial, and economic crisis created by the HDZ Most coalition.
Employment in Croatia rose in March for the first time in 6 months. At the end of the month, there were 1,330,000 people employed in Croatia, which is 0.3%, or almost 4,300 more than in February. The change does not come as a surprise, since this is the time of year that businesses in the tourism sector hire extra workers for the upcoming summer season. EU leaders have unanimously endorsed the terms for Britain's exit from the bloc. Meeting for the first time since British Prime Minister Theresa May formally triggered the countdown to Brexit a month ago, the 27 other EU leaders took only minutes today to arrive at a set of negotiating guidelines. European Council President Donald Tusk said they were a firm and fair political mandate for Brexit. The leaders agreed there can't be any discussions on the future relationship between the EU and Britain before some key issues are settled. These include the status of EU citizens living in Britain, how much Britain owes the EU, and the Irish land border.
Phases 1 and 2 must be clearly delineated and negotiated separately. In Phase 1, we will focus on separating, and in Phase 2, on the transition to our future relations. A clear line must be drawn between the two.
I would like to state very clearly that we need real guarantees for our people to live, work and study in the UK, and the same goes for the Brits. The Commission has prepared a full list of rights and benefits that we want to guarantee for those affected by Brexit. In order to achieve sufficient progress, we need a serious British response. I want to assure you that as soon as the UK offers real guarantees for our citizens, we will find a solution rapidly.
Russia is denouncing the Montenegrin parliament's ratification of NATO membership on Friday. The Kremlin has accused Montenegro's leadership, under the influence of its Western allies, of trying to drive a wedge between Montenegro and traditional allies, Serbia and Russia.
I think this is the most important decision Montenegro has made in its modern history, not just because of membership in this or that organization, but because of what it means for Montenegro to be part of NATO.
An international hot air balloon competition is underway in Zabok this weekend. Balloonists from Croatia, Slovenia, Slovakia, the UK, Switzerland, Germany, France, and New Zealand will be competing in races that are more about precision and accuracy than speed.
Balloons aren't really navigable aircraft. We will set targets in different places, but in a general direction. The direction changes with altitude, and we try to reach it. But in principle, every day is a surprise. I hope that we get to travel in all directions so that all of Zagorje has a chance to see the balloons.
Taking a look at sports, after suffering 2 defeats in the domestic league, Dinamo blew away last-place Cibalia today by a score of 6-0. Gojak scored 4 goals, while Sudani and Antolic netted 1 each. Meanwhile, top-ranked Rijeka defeated Inter at home. Rijeka is firmly at the top of the table with Dinamo in 2nd place. There are still 5 rounds of play to go until the end of the season. Sunday's forecast calls for partly cloudy skies in the interior and mostly clear skies on the coast. Slovenia may still see some light rain. There will still be a moderate to high northeasterly wind on the coast in the morning. The wind will shift to a northwesterly direction in the afternoon. Morning lows will range from 1 to 6 degrees in the interior and from 7 to 12 degrees on the coast. It will be slightly cooler in the mountains. The day's highs will be mostly between 12 and 17 degrees inland and between 18 and 21 degrees along the Adriatic. The weather in the interior on Monday will be mostly sunny, but more unstable weather is headed our way on Tuesday, with rain and showers highly likely midweek. Morning temperatures will be slightly warmer, but highs will remain about the same. The coast will also see sunny skies on Monday, but clouds will set in by evening. The northern sections of the shore can expect occasional showers, especially on Wednesday. There will be light to moderate northwesterly and southwesterly winds on the central and south shore and a southeasterly in the north. Temperatures will be quite warm. And that brings us to the end of our program. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you again tomorrow.